Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a really special one for me because I'll be sharing something completely new with you, my very first workshop. This was such an exciting experience and I can't wait to take you behind the scenes to show you how it all went. So in this workshop we focused on creating woman portrait using acrylic paints, and I'll walk you through the process, show you some highlights and of course the final results. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So, first of all, why did I decide to organize this workshop? I've always believed that art is something that connects people, and I wanted to create a space where we could sit together, paint, learn, and inspire each other. And many of my students told me that they wanted to try portrait painting, but they were afraid and didn't know where to start. So, this felt like a perfect theme for our very first session. We worked with acrylic paints because that's the technique I personally use the most in my own practice. And one of the things I really wanted to show participants was how acrylics can actually look very similar to oils if you use them the right way. They're also incredibly convenient. Unlike oils, they don't release fumes, which means you can safely paint at home, even in your apartment, which I do. To save time and have more space for actual painting, we transferred the initial drawing onto the canvas using indigo paper. That way, we could skip the long sketching process and dive straight into the painting. The concept of the workshop was quite dynamic. First, I demonstrated each stage of the painting while the group observed and asked questions. They could ask me not only about the technique itself, but also about life as an artist. What is it like to make a living from art and all those behind the scenes aspects of being a professional painter. Then, after my demonstration, participants painted their own portraits while I walked around, gave corrections, and helped them step by step. We divided the session into several segments: demonstration, practice, feedback, with breaks in between, including a lunch break, which gave us time to relax and recharge before continuing. Also, I want to highlight something very important. This workshop was partially sponsored by Ars. It is an art supply store who provided us with the canvases and paints. Having high quality materials makes a huge difference in your painting because when you paint with professional paints, not only is the process smoother and more enjoyable, but the final artwork is also more vibrant, durable, and long lasting. It was really important for me that participants could experience the difference that good materials make. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the process itself. We start with a simple underpainting, blocking in the larger shapes and basic skin tones. Then, step by step, we build up layers, adding shadows, highlights, and details. I showed different techniques for blending acrylics using brush strokes to create texture and how to capture the softness and the character of a face. What I loved the most was watching how each participant found their own approach. Even though we all worked from the same reference, every portrait came out unique, some very bold, others more delicate. That individuality is exactly what I hope to encourage in my students. So, for me personally, this workshop wasn't only about teaching techniques, it was about building a community, sharing inspiration, and learning from each other. I'll be honest, I was a little nervous at the start because it was my very first official workshop, but atmosphere was amazing and everyone's energy and curiosity made it flow so naturally. The room was full of creativity, laughter, and conversation, and that made the experience really unforgettable. In the end, everyone went home with a finished portrait, and I think with a lot more confidence in their ability to paint. I could see how proud some people were of what they had created, and I was genuinely impressed by the results. For me as a teacher, that was the biggest reward. Not only seeing the artworks, but seeing the joy and satisfaction on everyone's faces. So that was a little glimpse into my very first painting workshop. I hope you enjoyed seeing what we created together. If you'd like to join me in future workshops or if you'd like more videos on painting tips and tutorials, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon in the next video.